questions. It was a bit of a dicey start to the game, but how do you feel the team responded to allowing a goal in the opening 30 seconds?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I thought we responded really well. I think it took us a little bit of time to totally respond and get to our game, but I thought the last two periods, I felt good about our game. 4 shots in the first period obviously is not enough, and getting hit in the mouth kind of early on that, on that first minute doesn't help, and we've fallen victim to that. Obviously 3 or 4 times this year. Anyone that follows us knows. But I really liked the second and third. I thought the overtime we were good. I thought we played well tonight.
It also kind of got a little difficult on D for you guys at the end with Jose going down. How were you guys able to kind of mitigate? Well,
Ryan, it's a tribute to our players. The one thing we are struggling with as a team, and it's a frustrating thing, is our discipline. I mean, tonight Chris Nell takes an unnecessary penalty in the first minute of the game. And then there was a time where we were down to 4D, and we got 3 defensemen sitting in the penalty box. And we're involved in after the whistle stuff. I don't understand the lack of discipline there. And we talked about it again today. Another objective we didn't get tonight is undisciplined penalties. We took undisciplined penalties tonight. Our opponent was 2 for 5. The game came down to special teams. We couldn't get anything going on the power play. 2 seeing eye slap shots from the point, scores for them. Our discipline has to get better. I thought we played the game the way we wanted to play it tonight. I just thought there was too many opportunities for us to be disciplined when we weren't.
Was Dan able to give you an update on Jose, or is that going to be something that's going to be?
As far as I know, he went to the hospital for x-rays, so obviously that's not good. But that's all I have.
Tim, how are you able to keep up in the shots, even though you only got 4 in the first period?
I think we just got to our game plan, which is getting pucks past their people, whether it's the neutral zone or the offensive blue line, and battling it out. They were short on D tonight too. A couple of their better players, I take that back. A couple of their older defensemen were not in the lineup. I know their team captain wasn't. Casey Nelson wasn't. Two good players as far as I'm concerned. So they were shorthanded back there, and we wanted to take advantage of that a little bit, and I thought we were able to. We just did things with more purpose tonight in the offensive zone, and we won more battles, and that's how we were able to sustain more shots.
Putting the penalties on the defensive side, you just talked about their effort tonight. I mean, you're shorthanded.
I thought our effort was great, Kevin. I'm really proud of our effort tonight. And once again, I think this group showed itself that when we do things right, we can be a handful. Minnesota State they're the class of our league, and they have been, and we're chasing them. But I thought tonight we went nose to nose with them and played well.
I'm going to ask a big picture question.
Okay.
But you've got 2 points. You had a good weekend in terms of getting 2 points and Tech getting swept in the standings.
From a standings perspective?
Yeah.
I think December 4th and 5th, Kevin, is a little early to be looking at the standings. I know where you're coming from. I mean, I still think it's pretty neat for us to be looking at the standings when you and I 6 years ago, we weren't looking at the standings. We didn't care because it didn't look very good. I like the standings to mean something, and that's a good thing. That means we're progressing as a program like we want to. We just keep taking care of our business. We keep taking care of our business, and the standings will take care of themselves. To get 2 points, 2 ties at home against a really good Minnesota State team, I think is a good weekend for us. And the fact that one of the teams ahead of us didn't have a good weekend at home in terms of points, that's good for us. But that's not something that we think too much about because we can't control that.
What's Brett Tate's injury?
Brett Tate has a hand injury, Kevin, and I think it's 4 weeks anyway, but I don't know that. Chris is more day to day. Chris Polkamp. I think Brent is looking at some type of extended period, but the fact that the break is coming, that's a good thing. There's a couple weeks where it's off, close to 3 weeks where it's off. So he won't be able to play next week at Bemidji, but I think right at the beginning of the second half. I don't know if that means Western Michigan or Clarkson, but real soon after that.
And what's his injury?
Brent?
Chris.
His hand. Brent is his hand, Chris is his shoulder. But the shoulder, I mean, you see the way he plays, you know.
Yeah.
You have to make sure he's right. He plays the game pretty physical. But he just wasn't quite right to play tonight.
Talk about the emotions out there tonight, Coach. It seemed like, especially after the first period, you guys just had so much jump, and I got to a point late in the third and even in the overtime where it seemed like Minnesota State kind of hanging on.
Yeah, but anyone that was here last night, that's what we were doing. You know, we were just hanging on. The emotions when you play and you're engaged in a game like tonight. I loved the emotions. I thought it was great. Lots of back and forth by both teams and good physical battle. I don't like to see anybody get hurt either way, but I thought it was we were engaged in the type of game we wanted to be engaged in tonight. And like I said, I'm proud of the guys for that. We weren't engaged enough last night, and tonight I thought we pushed it to them in a bounce here or there, you know. But again, it always finds a way working itself out. We may not have deserved the point last night, and we found a way to one. And then tonight, maybe we deserve a couple points, and we get one. So I think it always finds a way of working itself out.
This team does seem to dig themselves a hole, you know.
At times we do, and
what can you do to flip that switch at the start of the game?
You know, I don't know, Clint. I'll continue to take the blame for that. I mean, last night, I think we win and draw and don't do much with it. Tonight we win and draw and ice it. And then it's difficult because it's frustrating. Like, I can't get in the head of, you know, Chris Nell was unhappy with getting bumped or whatever, and he trips the guy. You know, now and they go bang bang on the power play face off and score a goal. I mean, it's difficult to put your finger on it, because if I could put my finger on it, I would change it. Maybe start different people. I don't know. We were looking for matchups against their top people and put our top people out there. We have to find a way to start better. There's no doubt about that. We seem to be responding okay to once we get ourselves in a hole. But I'm with you. I'd rather not have to dig out of a hole.
Sean, what was it like for the defense today? I mean, you're shorthanded to start shorthanded from a personnel standpoint, a lot of penalties, and closing goes down.
It was all right. I mean, we know when it comes to that, we're gonna obviously back off a little bit. We can't be jumping up in the rush too much and stuff. So, kind of played a little more safe, make sure that we conserve our energy for the defensive zone, and then try to let our forwards handle the offensive zone.
What does that kind of take away from your guys' overall game plan? 'Cause it seems like you have a lot of guys who are capable of jumping up in the rush, who like to jump up in the rush and create offense.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, once we're down to 4, it's pretty tough. So we definitely got to make sure that we're not jumping up every single time like we want to, but that's our game plan. So it makes it hard on us to be in the rush and be offensive, but at the end of the day, we got to play defense first.
Do you feel like the offense was hungrier in this game than in the last game?
Definitely. Last night we kind of struggled. We didn't have as much shots, but I think we have 18 shots after the third. So definitely our forward core group was going tonight. It helped a lot.
All right, we've got Mark Cooper, 2 goals tonight. Questions for Mark?
You guys gave up the early goal. How'd you go about coming back?
I think it was, we talked about a great start tonight, and then that goal obviously deflated us a little bit, but we talked a lot about not getting too high, not getting too low, and we did start better, but that goal, it didn't deflate us, and I got one later right after that.
Coach mentioned earlier in the week that he sees Minnesota State as being the goal for your program. Now that you had a weekend play, and where do you see yourself compared to them?
I think we showed tonight that we're very close. When we were getting to our game tonight, we could play with them, and we outplayed them. I thought we outshot them tonight. Last night they kind of dominated us for 3 periods, but we showed tonight when we when we can play with the best in our league, and we just got to do that on a more consistent basis.
You talk about the play of the defense tonight, shorthanded as they were, and then Jose goes down, and you're down to just Braden Pears for a key penalty.
Yeah. Mercier went back there and did great, and we had to go 2 forwards on the penalty kill, which we've never done before, but we've all been in those situations in practice. But they're obviously logging a lot of minutes and doing good for us, so hopefully they can rest during the week here and get refreshed for Bemidji next weekend.
Your second goal, it came off the boards, but did it come right to your stick after that, or did it kick around in front and then come to you on the side?
Well, I tried to tip it actually. Friedman saw me on the side of the net. I missed the tip, and it kind of came right to my stick, and I was able to just I saw the empty net. I just threw it on net, and it went in.
And reviews for offsides.
It was for a hand pass from Polkamp to me, and I don't think he did one, but obviously the refs thought the same.
What do you think the difference was between the first and then the second and third period in the overtime? You guys, like you said, only 4 shots first goal, but you outshot them 2-1 in the second and third in the overtime. Why so much more jump in your staff?
I think just maybe struggling in the first and coming out of it as in a tie game gave us a little bit of life, and then we had a good start to the second. We talked about that in the intermission and showed that we can play with these guys and we can take it to them, and that's what we did.
Good?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.